Hello everyone, and welcome back to another tutorial. Today we will be looking at creating forms using Microsoft Word. I hope you find this tutorial very informative. Thank you.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another tutorial. Today I will be showing you how to create a form using Microsoft Word, or create a form within Microsoft Word. The last tutorial I did, I showed you how to create a mail merge using Microsoft Word by importing database information and embed it into the Microsoft Word. So I hope that everybody will pay attention, and by the end of this lesson you will know how to create a form. Alright, so let's go. So as you all know, my tutorials are question based. I always try to do my tutorials relating to a question so that persons can better able to understand. So the question that we're going to look at today is this one that is highlighted, right? And this question is similar to the previous tutorial that we did, which is the mail merge. So if you did not get a chance to watch that tutorial, please click on the link at the top right hand corner and that will send you to that tutorial. Okay, so let's go. So the question says that the school would like to have a form that the students can fill out electronically to record their necessary personal and subject information. There should be a reserved section of the form for final calculations to be entered by the exam coordinator. The form should have an appropriate header and have appropriate spaces. Alright, good. So let's go. So the first thing that we need to do, we need to open a blank Word document. I am currently in Microsoft Word, so I will go to File and New Blank Document. For the persons who will be opening Microsoft Word from scratch, it is simple. You click on Blank Document and your document should look something like this. Now, if you look at the tabs here, you will see developer here. Some of you may not have the developer tab at the top of your Microsoft Word, and I'm going to show you how you add that tab, because it is very imperative that you have that section before we begin our class. Now let's go. So what's the first thing that you do? You go to File, then you go to Options right here. Then you go to Customize Ribbon. Then to your far right here that says Main Tabs, right? Your developer would not be ticked. Okay? So if it is not ticked, then so when you look at your developer, it should look like this. Alright, it should look like this. And then what you do to activate it, you click on it and you should see a tick within the box. After you have placed that tick within the box, you click on OK. And when you look at the top here, you see the tab Developer. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to change the orientation of this paper. And what does it mean to change orientation? Whether it's going to be landscape or portrait. So we want our paper to be landscape. So what do? We go to Layout, the Layout tab, and then you select the arrow that says, right, the arrow that is beneath Orientation, and you select the option that says Landscape. And there you go. If you realize, the top of the paper is much longer than the side. Alright, what's the next thing that we do? We're going to add a header. Now, it is recommended that for organized purposes and consistency, the same information that you had placed in the mail merge tutorial is the same information that you will place in this header. Right? The header, the information in the header that you used in the mail merge, please use the same information in this header for the form. Alright. So for me it is Future Leaders High School and that is the same name I use in my Wix tutorial, in my database tutorial, and in my word processing tutorial. Then I'm going to have the address, then the city, then the email. I do not, to be totally honest, I do not remember the email address I used in the previous tutorial for this name, so I'm just gonna make one up. Alright, for you guys, you should have the same one for consistency. Remember, this is just for, you know, example purposes. Then the website. The website. Now, I would advise that the same website URL that you use in the main merge is the same one that you're going to put here, as I said before, for consistency. Alright, the URL that I'm going to place here is an actual URL. Alright, if you did not watch a tutorial on Wix, on how to create a web page using Wix, then click on the link at the top right hand corner for that tutorial, because within that tutorial was when I actually showed how you can create a web page using Wix, and I published that web page, and this is the URL for it. So for persons who are interested in creating a web page, you can check that tutorial out. Okay, so now that we have had our address and all the contact information and the school that is going to send out the form, we are going to use the logo that we had used in the mail merge, and the same logo that we'd have used in the web page tutorial. So how do you add your picture or logo to the Word document? You go to Insert in the main tab right up here, click on Insert, then you click on Pictures, and then you'll be transferred to maybe Documents, the last folder you actually visited. You're going to be sent to that, and then you have to search for the file that you want to place there. So beforehand, it is advised that you put all the files that you need in one folder, so it's easy for you to retrieve those files. Alright, so here's my logo here, FLHS, and I am going to text or wrap text it to in front of text so that I'm able to move it all around. That demonstration was done in the main merge tutorial. You can watch it to see the explanation as it relates to the wrap texting. Okay, so if you want to close the header, double click on the outside below the line, yes, and then you're good to go. Now that we have had our contact information and our logo, the next thing that we're going to do is add the necessary information. Right, as the question says, we're going to need information as relates to the students. So what are those informations? Same ones that we had used in the word processing and database. Student ID. Right, I'm using the tab button, not space bar. I'm using the tab button. The tab button is best because it gives you an equal amount of space every time you press tab. If it is 5 spaces between where the cursor was to where it went, if you press it again, it's another 5 spaces. So there's a level of consistency. So it is recommended that you use the tab when you're spacing these sections out. So for student ID, then I have first name, tab 1, 2, good. Then I have last name, twice again, middle name, and, well, not and as yet, date of birth. In bracket for date of birth, you're going to have the format in which the date of birth should be written. So month first, day after, and then the year, and then another tab, and that is for gender. So I have the necessary information, right, that would typically tell you the basic about each student, right? Good. So I'm gonna highlight these and make them bold. Let them have some oomph. Alright. Good. I'm gonna change the font style for these. Right. Kind of clueless to what I'm gonna choose. I'm just gonna choose something. Alright. Good. Now, before we continue this section, there are 3 categories that the form has. So this section will be considered or be called the student personal information. So we're going to have student personal information. Good. I'm going to center align this. I'm going to highlight it, center align it, right? And let it have a specific look. And I'm going to highlight mine using this right here. So you block everything, student personal information, you block all of that. You go here, click on the arrow down, and you select whichever color that you desire it to have. I'm going to choose this one. I do not know what it named, but I'm going to choose it. They say men are colorblind. Yes, I am, but I love the color. Alright, so the next thing is that we are going to put spaces beneath each one of these, right, so that students have students are able to fill out the form. Alright, how we are going to do that? You find yourself in the layout tab right at the extreme top, right? The developer tab, the developer tab at the extreme top, right? Then you go to the control section right here. You see controls. Good. So the control section. Before I show you anything else, make sure your cursor is lined up underneath student ID properly, just like how it is on my computer. When you have done that, and you go to developer and go to this section that says control, the icon here that looks like a toolbox with a wrench and a screwdriver, click on the arrow beside it, and there are 2 categories there, legal forms and ActiveX controls. Please click on the icon that has A, B in ActiveX control, not the other one. Alright, good. And if you realize, this looks like a form space in which, you know, persons are given when they are filling out an application. Now, when you have added that section, you press the space bar to find yourself exactly underneath the next word. You do the same thing again, select, go to ActiveX control, same thing again, last name, you add that, middle name, date of birth. Alright, I'm gonna expand this because the space is much smaller than what we have. Now for gender, we're not going to put a box there for gender for persons to type whether they are male or female. We're going to give them the option of actually choosing male or female. Now if you had used M for male in your database and word processing, it is best that you continue with that same style, whatever you may want to call it. Right? Some persons may have the male write out M-A-L-E, others may not. So what do? You go same place in controls, you go to the top here where you see drop down list content control. You click on that. Oh my bad. Make sure the cursor is where you want it to be. Then you go to drop down list content control and you select your good. If yours went to another line, just make your date of birth a little bit smaller so you can have space. Now when I add that to my agenda, there's something else I need to do. Make sure there's a line like this looking, or a line looking like this that says choose an item. When you see this word and icon, you go to properties up here within the same control section. You go to properties, and then where you see drop down list properties right at the bottom of the window, you will see display name and value, and you see the word add. Click on add for me please, and you're going to type MALE. That is if you're using the entire word. For persons who are using M and L, just continue. M and F, sorry. Good. Then I want to have female. Then you click on OK. Now if you realize, right, let me see if I did it. Yes. So after you're done that, you click on design mode and disable design mode. When it is on, it is shaded like that. When it is off, it is like that. Alright. When that happens and you click on the icon beside of it, you realize that you see male and female. Perfect. Good. So we have finished with the student personal information section. What do we do next? Put your cursor at the end of the line there, enter, give yourself one more space, and we're going to have the subject information. Good. We are going to center align this. Good. Highlight it. Alright. What you can do is the same font type that you're using the first one, so it looks uniform. Let me see what we did. We used Franklin Gothic at 14. I'll find it. Franklin. Can't find Frank. Good, found him. So this one, Franklin Gothic Demicon. Alright. 14 was the size. Alright, good. The next thing that we're going to do, we're going to type our student information, our subject information. So we have, suppose I have mathematics, suppose I have my cursor on, mathematics, English, number of subjects, number of practicals, and then you have number of orals. Good. Then make sure, please remember, put your cursor beneath the word, put the cursor beneath the first word in the previous line. Alright, which I did right here. So when I've done that, you're going to do the same thing that you typically did with the gender. Alright, that's what you're going to do. So you go to developer, you go to drop down list content control, you click on it, right? And when you click on it now, you go to properties over this side, right? Then you go to the bottom where you see drop down list properties, and you click on add, and you have yes and no, which would typically state whether or not they're doing English, no, maths or not. Another one we're going to add there, properties, Yes. And again, no. Good. Now we're going to have the number of what do you call it? Subjects now. That is the normal one that we use, which is in the active X control. Alright. As I said, it needs to be presentable. And then you have number of practicals. Then you're going to have number of orals. Alright. Good. So for English, if you realize you're not able to see the oral, that is because they would not have came out of the web page beforehand. Alright. Not the web page, sorry, the properties or the design mode. So I'm going to click on the design mode, and there you go. I'm able to see yes and no. Good. We are almost there, almost finished. So the next thing that you're going to typically do is to find yourself to the next line. Alright, that is there. And the next line will be called financial information. However, in the question it mentions something, right, that the folder or the application, the form, should not be filled out by students. It should be by their parents. So that's one instruction that you must have on an application form such as this. So we're going to say, instruction, which is, what we are given. The following section is reserved and should not be filed by students, or filled by students. Good. Now we're going to center our instruction, and of course I'm going to add some background to it, give it some oomph. Alright, good. Next line, going on to the next line. Alright, so we're going to have registration fee. Then you're going to have total subject fee. Then you're going to have total practical fee. Then total oral fee. Not finished. Total fee paid sponsorship. Persons who would have actually did the database, these words they are not alien to you. grant amount and total paid by student. Good. Let's have these two left out. For some reason I don't know how I left them out. No, I'm having too much spaces here. I want to take back one from total pay by students, and let me see. It's a little bit better, but I think it could have stayed. Grant amount. Good. Now that we have all of that, we're going to add our spaces there. So how we're going to add our spaces there? We're going to do the same thing that we typically did for the previous ones. Alright, so we are going to put our cursor here, and you go here. Alright, registration fee, total subject fee, total practical fee, I'm trying to stretch these out so there is enough space there. Total oral fee, I ran out of couple spaces, so I'm trying to make some space. Alright, let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna take the space off here. Good. Have enough space now. Total fee paid here. Sponsorship, grant amount, total paid by student. Good. Now there's something that we left out that we should have done differently, and we did not. Alright, but we are going to do it. What is that? The date right here. The date here shouldn't have been a form space. Instead, it should have been this option here, date picker content control. So for date of birth, we're going to go here. Alright, go to properties. Alright, good, and then make sure that it has the month, day and year, right? Just in that format. And display date like this. Alright, and then they are able to choose the date. Alright. Oh, that was a mistake to choose one right now. I think that is today. Alright, good. You can just click on the backscape to actually give these some space. Alright. Now that we have had every single thing that we need here, we have the student personal information, subject information, we have an instruction that is there. Alright, this instruction, alright, can be in the line, but looking at it, I don't think it should be in the line. Alright, for here we're going to put financial or finances. So financial information. Good. One moment, let me just cut that one. Copy that one. Financial information. Good. And then right here I will paste the instruction that needs to be done. I'm going to remove the shading at the back of it, and I'm going to bold and underline that because it's a very important message, right? I'm going to put it in red as well. Good. And there you have it. Your form is completed, right? And it's easy as 1, 2, 3. Now, for persons to better able understand what we had used here, such as the student ID, first name, last name, and so forth, please watch the main merge tutorial and the database tutorial. Those tutorials, all the information used within those tutorials are based off the information that is currently in front of us. So there is a level of consistency as to relates to what we're doing, right? The database data queries, tables, forms, report. The main merge did what, as it mentioned, main merge embedded database information within our document, and now we have created a form using Microsoft Word. You're going to save this file as student form. Alright, I'm going to save mine on desktop, student form. Good. And there you go. Have a wonderful day, students, and take care.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope that you have learned something from this tutorial. If you did not watch our previous tutorials, please click on the link at the top right hand corner and follow us on our Instagram at etech.ja, and also remember to share, like, and subscribe. Have a wonderful day.